Yo, what's going on, everyone? Z-Boss here. Welcome back to our Utah Jazz rebuild. Look at the team. Of course, you have Markkanen, Clarkson, Sexton, Collins, Kessler, Horton Tucker, Olynyk, Dunn, Taylor Hendricks, who just got drafted this year. But we have a decent team. We're going to be looking at a trade for Kelly Olynyk. We're going to be taking an expiring deal in Evan Fournier and a first-round pick. Now, remember that first-round pick. That's going to come back eventually in this rebuild. But we're looking at around the halfway mark of the season. Lauri Markkanen's been injured for most of it. But like Sexton's having a good year. Hendricks having a really good year for being his first year. Keon George, John Collins, Jordan Clarkson. Like everyone's having like a decent season, but we're just not putting it on the court. Like if you're looking at, so where you go to the record here, I believe. Oh yeah, no, we're looking for a trade. So we're looking for a trade. I think we were looking for Lauri Markkanen. I didn't really see anything I liked too much. I mean, nothing that was really stood out to me. But Jordan Clarkson. Sorry about that. I messed up the name. As always, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really helps me out. I've had a lot of support on the channel recently, and it's been really exciting for me to kind of grow from 0 subscribers. Now I have 6, which is very good for me. But we're going to be trading Jordan Clarkson for a few, I think, expiring deals in a first-round pick. Seeing kind of what we can get back. We see Obi Toppin, but we're not going to get Obi Toppin. Naismith, Walker, Jalen Smith, I think we're going to get. So they're going to want 2 first-round picks, but it's going to be kind of in the future. But we say no to that. We say, let's keep our picks. You never know what's going to happen in rebuilds. I mean, season number 1, if you look at our record, we are awful. But this Utah Jazz team is they're in a weird spot. For the fact that, Lauri Markkanen had an excellent year last year, and they have good players around Lauri Markkanen. But is Lauri Markkanen the guy that you want to build a whole franchise around, and will that be successful? That's a big question. If they do build this team on Lauri Markkanen, will it be successful? Will it be able to make the playoffs, should I say? Will it be able to make the playoffs, and will it be able to, even if they don't go deep in the playoffs, just making the playoffs, will the team around that be able to do that? Or would it be better for them to kind of more be on the rebuild side? So let Lauri Markkanen finish off his contract, say, okay, that experiment was good, now you go to your team where you can compete for a good championship, and we take these young guys that we get on our team, and we go with that. So if you see here, we get the first overall pick, which is excellent for us. We're kind of looking at who we want to kind of pick here. We're going to be looking at Trade Finder first and kind of seeing maybe we can trade Lauri Markkanen, because I was kind of like, maybe we can just trade him for a few younger players or a few picks, but there's no offers, and I didn't want to go out. But we are looking at Jordan Clarkson, kind of seeing what we can get around. We see a Wizards pick, Capella, Naz Reid, Bruce Brown. So we're seeing guys, well, I'm looking at this trade right here. First round pick in Jordan Clarkson for Gary Trent Jr. from the Raptors. So I'm trying to see if maybe I can get another pick, a later pick. But they don't really want it. They don't give us Jalen McDaniels. They give us a few seconds. But I'm like, no, I'll get you a second. I'll put out a second in. They say yes to that. So we're going to be looking kind of around and seeing what we should kind of do here with this first overall pick. So I was going to go Matthias, but I feel like I have him a little too much. So we go with Justin Edwards here with the first overall pick, shooting guard. He turns out to be an excellent player for us. We're going to bring back basically everyone besides Fournier and his $18 million or whatever it was. We're not going to bring that back. Looking at free agents here, we don't have much. We have around $22 million in the bank account that we can spend. But I'm looking at this team, and this team, it looks improved. So I'm thinking about maybe we get Justin Edwards there as our second shooting guard. So I'm looking around, like, this team looks decent. A bunch of low 80 overalls. Lauri Markkanen a high 80. But I'm looking at trading, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. I'm going to be trying to trade Ochai. I'm not going to pronounce that. But we're going to be trading him away so we can kind of get our first overall pick some play time. Then I'm looking at Markelle Fultz here. I think Markelle Fultz could be a very good point guard for us. A very good kind of all-around point guard. So we're going to bring him in. We're also going to bring in Zach Collins. So we bring in those two to kind of fill the rotation. Go to player progression. Player progression is very good. Kessler went up by 2. I mean, we got to see a bunch of green. You always want to see that green. You never want to see the red because that means your team, unless you had a bad year, your team's on the decline, which we don't want to see in this rebuild. We want to see improvements each year. So we're just going to keep going. We're looking at the team. We pick up Jake Crowder somehow and Landry Shamet. Second season, we are the 6th seed with a 30 and 26 record. Markkinen's averaging 19, 6 and 2. Trent Jr. is averaging 13, basically 14, 1 and 2. Fultz is averaging 13, 4 and basically 10. So that's a really good stat line for him. Basically a double-double a game. But we're just going to continue here, kind of go on, see how we do in the second half of the season. And it doesn't go too well. It doesn't go the best. It doesn't go the worst. So it's kind of a 50-50 end of year. You know, we pick up a few wins, but we also pick up a few losses. I mean, there's no real consistency on this team. Again, for us making the playoffs, I mean, that's excellent. We do make the play-in, I do believe. But, I mean, making the play and making the playoffs, that's our goal for these first couple of years. Out of the first couple of years when our young guys do develop, then we can be like, okay, now we can kind of go out and make those deep playoff runs. But, I mean, for the first few seasons, I mean, like, what are you going to... Like, you want those young guys to develop. You want to be able to give them playoff experiences. So we finish here as the 8th seed or the 9th seed. We go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first of 2 games in the play-in. It's a pretty close game up until the very end. Then we kind of pull away from them in the fourth quarter by a little bit. Markkanen has an excellent game. Edwards has an excellent game. Then we go up against the Portland Trailblazers. You already basically know their team. These in the first 2 years, I don't really like showing off teams because they're kind of the same. I mean, a couple bench players here and there kind of rotate, but it's not like a real, like, you know, there are no big stars that really move around in the first 1 or 2 seasons. So in the first round, we're going to be playing the bane of my existence, the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2K. They are an absolute juggernaut in this save. They were an absolute juggernaut in this save from basically the second year. So we go against them. We pick up 1 game, and then they beat us, I think, in 5. Yeah, they beat us in 5. They gentlemen sweep us. But, I mean, again, Josh Giddey, Cavaliers, they sweep them in the finals. I mean, the Thunder were just a juggernaut on the team. Now, with this pick, we got the 15th overall pick and the 14th overall pick because we just made the playoffs, but just in the play-in. So we're going to go out. We're kind of looking at kind of who they project. We see Michael Jordan here. I'm like, I got to take VJ Miller. I'm sorry, I was going to say TJ. But VJ Miller. Drafted him. He's a 73 overall. Actually, your second pick, Carter Bryan, was a 76, so he was a little bit better. But these are just kind of going to be bench players for me. So we're looking at team player options. Going to basically bring back everyone. Theo Maledon we're not going to bring back. And now, for this part of the rebuild, we're basically just going to try to, you know, trade a couple players. We see this trade right here, and this trade actually looked excellent to me. But we're going to try to basically, you know, and try to improve the team, but try to keep the core, or not the core, but try to keep the young guys here and give those young guys playing time for this year. So we trade Gary Trent Jr., we trade, I forget the other guy, for Desmond Bane. Big upgrade there for shooting guard. Then we're going to be trading, we traded some players for salary cap because Lauri Markkanen wouldn't re-sign with us. So we try to go after Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum goes back to the Celtics. Then we're kind of like, okay, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. Who are we going to pick here? I mean, Scotty Barnes is a lot younger, and he kind of fits around with our young guys. But Brandon Ingram is a bucket, so I gave an offer to both of them just in case one of them didn't accept. So they're mulling the offers, they're number 1. And then you see there, we get them both. Thankfully, we get them both. Not sign them both, but we, like, you know what I mean. They accept both of our offers, so we have our choice. So, season number 3, we have Fultz, George, Barnes, Anderson, Kessler, Williams. So we have a pretty good team. We finished up as a 4th seed halfway through the year. So again, those improvements is what you want to see. We are improving. So 18 points for Scotty, 18 points for Edwards coming off the bench. I mean, coming off the bench for all 55 games is excellent. LaMelo wins MVP, Kawhi Depoy, Ahmed Thompson most improved. This whole rebuild, I don't think we got a single person on an all-NBA team. We might have got a defense here or there, but we didn't really get anything. We didn't get anyone on all-NBA, which is pretty upsetting because I thought we built, a decent team. So we're going to go here in the play-in game. 6 seconds left. We have the ball. Pass it over. Hendricks. There we go. Scotty Barnes finishes that off. I just wanted to show that off because I thought there was going to be, some drama and all that stuff. But it was just an easy backdoor. It was just an easy backdoor layup. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So we win the play-in. We go into the playoffs. Go up against the Houston Rockets with Ahmed Thompson, Donovan Mitchell, Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith Sr., Rui Hachimura. Like, they have a pretty decent team. I think our team is kind of equal to them. We beat them in 7 by basically 20 points. Barnes has an excellent game. Fultz has an excellent game. Then we go up against the KD and Devin Booker-led Phoenix Suns, which they have a lot of talent in their starting lineup, but they don't really have too much depth. So we beat them in 4. We go up against the bane of my existence, the OKC Thunder. Absolutely terrible. Just an absolute god team. Can't do anything about it, really. Again, we take 1 game from them. We don't take too many games. So we take the 1. They win the finals again. Now, the Minnesota pick and the New York pick, here they come. They come both into play here. We get the 1st and 4th overall pick, which is excellent for us because that's just more people to build around. Or more assets to trade, more assets to, if we want to go the route of keeping those players and all that stuff. So we're kind of going to be looking, Cameron Boozer is going to be the 1st overall pick, but we're going to be looking at what we can kind of get for the 1st pick and the 14th pick. See Maxey, see George. I'm looking at George, I'm like, he's 36 though, so that's kind of, do we see Halliburton here? And I'm like, that's a good trade right there. That would be really good for us. So we're looking at all the trades here. The best trade I do see is a Halliburton trade along with Dante DiVincenzo. So we're going to go back to that trade, and we're kind of going to be like, you know what? That's going to be, like, that's our guy with Scotty Barnes. That's going to be our centerpiece. So instead of having to, because again, we've already had 2-3 years of kind of rebuilding with young players. So now is the time that we go and get these high-end talents. And we get the players that can really help us win now, along with, a very good young bench. We draft our 4th overall pick, Pete. He's a 78 overall. I think he was the best player in the draft. So that's really good for us. We're going to basically bring back the whole lot of them. So bring back the whole lot. Bring back Walker Kessler in his qualifying. Just re-sign everyone we got. We only got $6 million, so we have to kind of just re-sign who we have, and then that's kind of going to be our free agency. We don't really have too much. We don't really have too much of a choice besides that. So we're just going to re-sign everyone. The team's looking very good. At least I think so. But we're looking kind of weak at power forward, so we go out and we try to trade for CP. The Unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis, or KP. What did I say, CP? That's CP3. No, I'm not CP3. KP. We try to trade for the Unicorn. So we're kind of looking, they say they don't want to do this trade because they love their team. Now, I really feel like this trade will help us get over that hump of the OKC Thunder. So we're kind of looking, give us the 1st round pick. They say no. So I'm like, okay, don't give us the 1st round pick. They still say no. We're going to go, okay, we're going to give you a 1st round pick from the Lakers. They still say no. Then we say another 1st round pick, and they say yes to that, thankfully. And then we're going to just trade our 4th overall pick for Tyrese Maxey. Our team is looking good. 190 overall. The rest are high 80s. We're the 1st seed in the conference. The 1st seed tied in the NBA with the Indiana Pacers. So we're looking at the stats here, and the stats is really well distributed. 19 points, 17 points, 17 points, 17 points, 15 points basically. Doncic wins MVP. The guy that we traded wins Rookie of the Year. Of course, that's going to happen because he wasn't going to have that much of a shot on our team. Because we have so many good players, he wasn't going to really get that play time that he needed to get Rookie of the Year. So, we are the 1 seed. Go against the Denver Nuggets. They have Fran Fleet, but they basically have the same team, and Markelle Fultz, but they kind of have the same team that they have now. We beat them in 4. Now, I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, okay, they have Luka, they have Kyrie, but I don't fear this team. I don't fear them. So I go and simulate the whole series. We lose in 7. Luka gets a 40-point triple-double on us in game number 7. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Of course, the OKC Thunder go back to the finals, win the finals in 6. But now we're just going to jump to the next season. Because I'm like, we're running this back. We're running this back. I know this team can win a championship. So we finish here as a 3rd seed. And I'm like, okay, we got to get going. You know, I've been recording for a while here. We're just going to simulate real fast. And I know this team can go far in the playoffs. So we go against, we basically get to the finals pretty easily besides the Houston Rockets. Now we go against the Pacers and, go 1-0, go 1-1, 2-1 them, 2-2, 3-3. What's going to happen? And they absolutely blow us out. So thank you guys very much for watching this video. Yet again, it's another failed rebuild. I really tried. We really had a good team this time, but we didn't get it done. We lose. The Indiana Pacers won. So thank you guys very much for watching, and see ya.